Hello everyone, my name is Okirin Yorime Andrew and welcome to this week on the Cribs. Welcome to the crib. Many a times we ask these questions. Is dating a sin? Some people say yes from the church fold. Some other people say no, dating, we have to test the waters. We have to see, test here and there before we would settle with someone. So dating to different people are different things. But what exactly is dating? What is the definition of dating? I think that will help us know if this is a sin or not. So, what is dating? Dating is a stage of romantic relationship or courtship whereby two people meet socially with the aim of each assessing the other's suitability as a prospective partner or spouse. This is the definition gotten from the internet. We search it on Wikipedia and other sources, and also referring it to the dictionary, you'll see something close to this. So putting that together, you get something very close to this, or literally you get this online. So with the understanding of that, we had two things. He said it's courtship or relationship for two people to know each other, for prospective partners, or spouse. What this simply means is that dating can be seen as another word for relationship, or can be seen as another word for courtship. And many a times we see that from the church fold, courtship is not a bad word. So meaning dating is not a bad word. We went to school, and in school we're taught synonyms. So it just simply means courtship. It's another word for courtship. The problem here is that we see dating as fornicating. We see dating as two people messing around without an aim. That's how the contemporary not the contemporary now. That's how the church sees dating. That's how majority of people in the church will see dating. So they don't like to be associated with the word dating. Say, are we dating? No, we're not dating. No, we're in courtship. All you're simply saying is the same word as dating. But the only problem there is that we do not know the meaning of the word courtship, and we do not know the meaning of the word dating. Please look it up. You will see that both words simply means in a simpler tone, relationship between two people that want to know each other. That's number one. So that's clearing one angle of it. Clearing another angle of it is that dating is not for us to go from one place to another, testing the waters. That is not what a Christian dating is, because that's not what courtship is. Courtship is unto marriage. Dating should be unto marriage as a Christian. So we are dating to know each other. We are dating to see if we are compatible. I know many people will not like that. They'll say, oh, we need to pray and God will give us our wife and with this and that. Yes, there's a place for prayer. There's a place where we are led. There's a place where we pick our spouse or the partner that we like. But what dating is just like courtship. You get into it to know the person. So by the time you are in that relationship with the person and both of you are seeing you are going to two different ends, what that simply means is that at that point you might need to start aligning your purposes together. So can you people get to a point whereby you can weave your purposes together to understand that, okay, God is calling us together, but I believe also that my purpose is this and your purpose is this. How can we now together come and make our purpose uniform, that in this marriage will become a powerful couple for God, winning souls, which is the primary thing He wants us to do. But if because of our humanity we cannot get to that understanding and we cannot get to that place where we can fit together perfectly, the truth is that even God would not push you to get married to someone that both of you have not agreed this. First of all, He has brought you together so that both of you can grow together, so that both of you can understand these things. Then when you get into marriage, you have already gotten an understanding that this is why we're getting into marriage. This is what we are going to do. This is our focus. We have one vision. But if you can't get into that vision, God is not forcing you to move on above that level. I know this is kind of controversial, but it's the truth. The Bible says, can two walk together except they agree? So if at this point, both of you cannot grow to move beyond that setting, then you might need to either review it or meet a mentor to help you, or call it, or totally that relationship would have to be cut short. Another thing is that sometimes it is our own flesh and feelings that pulls us into a relationship, and then when it doesn't work, we try to blame God. So we have to balance this. We have to know when it is God and when it's our own fleshy desires pushing us into relationships. And that's the problem. When our flesh leads us, we begin to go into one relationship to another, this relationship, the other relationship, that relationship, and we find out in the long run that we have been all over the place, but we are not settled because we have not let God be the driving seat of our relationship. We have to let God be the driving seat of our relationship. We have to let God be in the driving seat of our love. So that's what we are here this month to do. This month is going to be a month whereby we talk about relationship, whereby we talk about love, and for us to understand God's love is the way we can now love others. With how can we love, or how can we give what we do not have? How can we love when we have not loved God? How can we love when we have not loved ourselves? So how can we love when we don't understand love itself? We know love is God, but how can we practically put that into our daily lives so that we can now be like Him and properly love? These are things that we'll be talking about throughout this month. So now, as a Christian, we do not just date. Take that. Remember that we do not just date. We do not just date for the pleasure of it. We go from here to there. We do not just date for this and that. Dating is a process. Yes, listen now. Dating is a process that helps us in our marriage. So, and I want to tell you something. I want to say something, another controversial statement. If dating is not successful, like if this dating does not lead to marriage, it was successful. And if dating leads to marriage, it was successful. Because why? When both of you have come to know each other, and you know that no, it's not a harmful breakup. It's a relationship that say, no, I think we didn't see the signs right, we didn't read it right, and I believe that at this point it will not be right for us to get married. It is successful because it has run its course. It causes to see if you are compatible for marriage, and you're not. Many times, many people just jump into marriage because of a vision they saw, and they get into marriage because of this and that, and without checking the pros and the cons, and they just jump into marriage. Many people don't understand, might not agree with my ideology, but that's fine. But other people just get a vision and jump into marriage, and at the end of it, they are shocked. That's like, what am I into? What is this? But that's what dating helps you to do, to understand what is this. And so you see, they endure their marriage instead of enjoying it. And I don't want to be in a position where I endure my marriage. I want to be in a position where I enjoy my marriage. And that's why I have gone out and resourced and ask and talk and get knowledge from people before me. Number one person I love to read is Gary Chapman. Number two is Miles Monroe. These are people that have helped me. And I tell you the truth, relationship has been different knowing these people. Once upon a time, I used to feel that I was when I say your village people, they pursue you. I thought my village people, they pursue me when it reached time for a relationship. Because the funny thing was that my relationship, after 3 months, 4 months, it breaks down. It doesn't go after that. But because of an understanding I did not have, and that understanding was like a hold on me, and I thought it was spiritual, but it wasn't. But when I got the understanding that what love necessarily means is not just the whole euphoria, it's not just the whole how we see the whole spiritual angle of, when I mean love now, we're talking about marriage. What it really means is not all about the whole euphoria of, oh, an angel spoke to me, or I heard his voice, or let me test here and there and there. There's a defined formula whereby you pray, you hear, you understand, you download. Then there's a physical aspect for you to start checking, and there are 5 years. It's called SPICES, SPICES. We're going to be talking about that next week, and I got this from a very revered mentor and teacher. We just check at Ejimi I'll put the link down on the notification description box, and I'm also going to put the name on the screen. It's an amazing man. Check him out on Instagram. And he talked about spices, where S stands for spiritual compatibility, P stands for physical compatibility, I stands for intellectual compatibility. I think C stands for cash flow and career compatibility. Then E stands for emotional compatibility. Then the last S stands for sexual compatibility. So I think there are 6 here. There are 6, not 5. So I'm going to take you through that also, through that teaching from this great man, and we're going to learn that how we can add that into our relationship and spice up our relationship. And also the main focus of this video, please, I don't want us to lose it. Dating, it's not for us to jump here and there and meet every people and just lead girls on in church. It is not it. And dating, it's not a sin, because it's not an idea of sex and people kissing on the road and people doing that. It is not it. Dating simply means courtship. It is a time where two believers, now from the Christian sector, where two believers come together to say, I've heard from God, I believe in what God has said, and I believe and I trust that both of us can work this out. Then we're going to check if our spiritual compatibility is uniform, the same. I'm going to talk more about this. I'm going to expose to you why all this needs to be the same. We're going to, where if our intellectual compatibility is the same for all of them. Also, if our financial, that's a cash flow and career compatibility is the same, we're going to check if each and every one, if our sexual compatibility is the same. I know you might say, you're not yet married, but these things are necessary to be spoken about, so that you do not get into marriage and you be like, I wish I never married you. I wish I. Look, divorces are so high, even in the church today, because we fail to understand in marriage what love truly is, and we fail to before marriage, we fail to understand the perfect and the best way what we should be doing in a relationship. What we should be doing in a relationship before marriage is not kissing, is not many sexual things and whatever. It is speaking to your spouse, is speaking to this person and trying to get into the person's head and knowing what the person is, wants, what his career goals is, what he's going for, what is the Lord saying, seeing if it's compatible to yours, praying about it, telling God, can we go ahead, can we move on, can we go to the next level? And I believe that as you stick with me, God is going to do a new work in your relationship as he did in mine, and God is going to change it and make it a blessing unto your generation, not just you and your children, but no, unto generations unborn and unto the whole world around you, your society, and at large. You will be a blessing. And people will say, I want my marriage, I want it to be just like his. I want my marriage, I want it to be just like hers. And this is the goal, and this is what we want to attain through this topic. Thank you very much. It has been an amazing week talking with you. God bless you. See you next week. And before you go, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.